The word undeniable exists for a reason, and it applies to Caitlin Clark. She is just absolutely undeniable, and her return to the Indiana Fever showed it once again. It felt like a jolt of energy to the WNBA.
After 2 weeks sidelined with a quad strain, you return to face the undefeated defending champions, and your very first shot is a 33-footer that barely disturbs the net. By the final buzzer, you've dropped 32 points, broken the franchise record for threes, and sent 17,000 Indiana fans racing to the merch stand. But as you're still icing your leg, social media explodes with rumors. The league allegedly wants your 11th drug test of the season. Is it true, a joke, or just meme culture on steroids? On a night where women's basketball's biggest star took center stage, the viral Caitlin Clark drug test saga demands a closer look. What really happened, why it caught fire, and what the WNBA must learn fast. Flashback to Saturday, June 14th, Indiana Fever versus New York Liberty. New York came in 9-0, ranked top 5 in both offense and defense. Indiana, without its star for 5 straight games, looked flat until tip-off. Then Clark exploded for 25 first-half points, including 3 logo-range bombs in just 38 seconds, finishing with 32 on 11 of -19 shooting. The Fever nailed a franchise-record 17 threes and pulled off a 102-288 upset, ending New York's perfect streak. The spotlight was massive, live on ABC, broadcast overseas to Europe and Asia, and a courtside row featuring Tyrese Halliburton and NASCAR legend Helio Castroneves. The game earned a 38% ratings bump from the prior Saturday, while TikTok clips of Clark's deep threes crossed 10 million views before Berlin even woke up. That kind of global exposure amplifies everything: triumphs, narratives, and even rumors.
What she did in the first half, shooting those threes, she ended on tied for her career best. She was 7 of 14, and at one point, she was like 7 for 9 or something ridiculous. 11 of 20. She still played 31 minutes. She almost had a triple-double in this game. 8 rebounds, 9 assists, 32 points. By the way, let me point, and 2 block shots.
Enter NBS Ella parody account with a swapped R that most scrolled past without noticing. At 7:13 p.m., it tweeted, "Breaking, Caitlin Clark selected for 11th random drug test after dropping 32 on Liberty per league memo." There was no memo, no source, just a blue check wink. Within 4 hours, auto-retweet bots had pushed it onto 2.4 million times. Meme pages plastered Clark with goat horns. Radio segments debated the supposed test, and by midnight, the idea of 11 tests felt like fact. But under the current WNBA, INBPA, CBA, it simply doesn't add up. Players can receive 3 unannounced urine tests during the regular season, and 1 in the offseason. The reasonable cause clause allows up to 4 more within 6 weeks, but even under maximum scrutiny, 11 tests before July 4th is mathematically impossible. The real process is far more tedious than Twitter's CSI theatrics. Drug testing is strictly regulated. Players are notified post-practice or post-game, then escorted by a drug-free sport collector. They're given water and 3 hours to provide a urine sample, which is sealed, barcoded, anonymously, and documented. With chain of custody forms, the sample is double-bagged, shipped to a WADA-accredited lab, and screened for over 250 substances from anabolic steroids to peptide hormones, diuretics, and masking agents. A second vial, sample B, is frozen in case of appeal. Any positive test undergoes independent medical review before triggering suspension. The entire process is slow, externally audited, and built for accuracy, not the rapid-fire suspicion. Social media thrives on Sportska. Later traced the rumor back to the parody account and confirmed with both the WNBA and FIFA that no post-game test had been ordered and Clark's test count remained within normal limits. Outlets like The Athletic, ESPN, and local journalists quickly echoed the correction. But by then, the fake news had already gone viral, outperforming the truth by a 10-to-1 click ratio. Outrage spreads. Retractions crawl.
Walk.
I'm going to say it. Caitlin Clark is the best basketball player in the world. She's the best basketball player that I have ever seen. She is the difference maker. She is the needle mover. She is the face of basketball right now. It's really hard not to recognize the difference that she makes on the Indiana Fever, a team that was obviously struggling with playmaking, struggling with pacing, struggling with the things that make us want to watch. And she steps into that court.
Fans quickly drew parallels to past NBA moments. Remember, Damian Lillard, Donovan Mitchell, and Bradley Beal getting random drug tests right after dropping 50. Fox Sports even aired a segment on that very pattern. Combine that lingering suspicion with fresh frustrations over Caitlin Clark's rookie season questionable whistles, cramped commercial flights, delayed highlight uploads on the fake drug test tweet found fertile ground. The numbers didn't matter. The narrative took off. Hashtag Free Caitlin trended higher than actual playoff races. Some joked Clark should start demanding DNA tests for defenders who couldn't stay in front of her. Others argued the league was sabotaging its own golden goose. Whether or not a test had actually occurred quickly became irrelevant. What mattered was how believable the rumor sounded within a broader story that the WNBA sometimes reacts instead of leads. As one Western Conference All-Star told a reporter, "I'm still waiting on my first cup. Maybe I need to drop 30. A Liberty assistant coach quipped, "If a lab could explain those logo threes, scouting would be easier." Humor or not, there was real frustration across locker rooms. A sign many recognized the tweet as parody, but still saw a grain of truth in how the league sometimes handles stars. 5 superfans even flew 22 hours from Hong Kong just to watch Clark returnly to wake up to Chinese headlines summarizing a story that wasn't real. The global reach of women's hoops now means misinformation spreads as fast as actual highlights. If the WNBA wants international dollars, it needs international fact-checking. Aggregator accounts profit off outrage. Platforms reward watch time, not accuracy. A viral hoax holds eyeballs longer than a box score recap. Until leagues deliver verified info in visually shareable formats, the truth will always trail the meme. To their credit, the WNBA's communications team responded swiftly. By Monday afternoon, a joint league union statement laid out how many times each Fever player had been tested, names redacted. Numbers cleared included a one-page infographic explaining the selection algorithm. It reassured sponsors and gave mainstream media something solid to report. But fans shouldn't have to be detectives. A public-facing FAQ showing anonymized monthly totals would undercut future hoaxes. More importantly, the league should lean into Clark's superstardom, mic her up, document her rehab metrics, showcase her film sessions. Transparency turns suspicion into fascination. Left unaddressed, suspicion festers into scandal. High school phenoms are watching how leagues treat their icons. If generational talent is greeted with interrogation instead of celebration, the next wave may look to Europe or Asia more seriously. Protecting the pipeline means building a reputation as a talent incubator, not a talent inquisitor. The next time a jaw-dropping claim goes viral without a reporter's byline attached, treat it like gossip in a middle school hallway. Women's basketball thrives on community. Don't let clickbaiters divide it. Clark's 71% true shooting night put her firmly in Steph Curry territory. When she's on the court, Indiana's offensive rating jumps from 98 to 114 points per 100 possessions. That's not pharmaceutical magic. That's MVP-level gravity.
All right, let's move on here. Caitlin Clark is the 4th fastest player in WNBA history to hit 850 points.
Sports marketers face a simple choice when brilliance erupts: celebrate the craft or search for caveats. One path builds audiences and boosts player salaries. The other fuels troll culture and traps the league in constant damage control. The drug test hoax was a stress test of the WNBA's PR immune system. It flinched, but didn't break. Next time, be ready. Have the highlight reel and behind-the-scenes feature queued up before the trolls launch their opening salvo. If you're here for context, nuance, and the occasional meme, you're in the right place. We break down the chaos, not chase it. Smash that like button like a hammer. Subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss our midweek deep dive on the Fever's revamped spread pick and roll. Drop the wildest sports rumor you ever believed in the comments and, as always, keep it respectful. Algorithms reward rage. We reward informed. FANDOM. Great players deserve great storytelling. Let's keep the spotlight where it belongs.